Five Finger Death Punch has always envisioned themselves as the steak dinner of hard rock, but has really been perceived more so by the fans as potato with a bit of spam in it. And suddenly I've just lost my appetite. But with that being said, Five Finger Death Punch has amassed a fairly large fan base in a short period of time. Their career has not been all of that long, and they've already released 6 albums, not to mention have become pretty big stars. That being said, this is a band that started off and got its initial acclaim through a cover of Bad Company by Bad Company. Yeah, I know, it's really original, but this has been what's propelled them to the top, and ever since then they have not looked back. However, there are still many people in the universe of music that feel that not only are these guys not metal at all, they are hard rock, as was stated at the onset, but that they also are just utter trash. So, without further ado, let's talk about 5 reasons why people hate Five Finger Death Punch, and I guarantee you, not all of these are going to be based off of Ivan Moody, but one just might. So we start with number 5. They're the Nickelback of hard rock. That statement just happened. They're the Nickelback of hard rock. Funnily enough, I thought that this statement was ludicrous until I actually started compiling this list. And what was ridiculous more so about this is the fact that whenever I was doing, a little bit of research around the internet to find out what people's perceptions were, I saw this statement way more than once. Like, way more than once. It's kind of ridiculous. Take a look for yourself. Just Google it. Number 4, they got popular with a cover, and it's their best song. Now, be that as it may, that many people enjoy Five Finger Death Punch's tracks. They feel that some of their singles have really been the reason why they picked up albums, and obviously their subsequent album sales have not just been based off of people that have purchased the first album and became instantaneous fans. There are still many folks that feel that the only good song that Five Finger Death Punch has ever exported to the world was their cover of Bad Company by the aforementioned Bad Company. Yeah, they were a band. And this is a track that is the classic showcase as to how a band that is of a bit of a different distinction than its original is able to give it a little bit of bite, a little bit of edge, add their own personal touch to it, and have success. Bad Company was, of course, a classic rock band. Five Finger Death Punch being more hard rock gives it a little bit more of that bite, and you instantly have something that is really marketable to the radio. And that's exactly what happened. This is a song that was a huge smash on the radio. However, it's been stated by many that are dissenters of this band that this is the only song of theirs that's actually worth a damn. And since they didn't even write it, that means that a song that they didn't even write is their best song, so they can't obviously write. And the proof is the fact that they've listened to the songs that the band has written, and they don't like the songs that they've written, so they should just go back to doing songs that other people have written. And Jesus Christ, this list makes my head hurt. Number 3, they're bro metal. Bro metal. It's right up there with words such as cuckold or fuckboy. Great. Wonderful. Bro metal is actually kind of a thing in the underground communities. People that want to say that bands such as Five Finger Death Punch and Asking Alexandria, Attila, Amur, bands of that variety, they're all just about the tough guy macho image, walking down the hallway in your tap-out t-shirt, acting like you're about to be in a UFC match with every second person that you end up seeing. And of course, you want to chat up and fuck every single female or male, depending on your, persuasion that you encounter. That's bro metal, I guess. And I guess Five Finger Death Punch is a part of it. While a lot of purists will actually label these guys under hard rock, this is still a huge, big-time reason that people don't get into the band. They feel that it's all about the macho exterior. They feel that Ivan himself really portrays this idea and is kind of a catalyst for the movement in the process, but at the same time, it's an overall swagger and motif that the band seems to carry about themselves that just doesn't rub a lot of people the right way, and based off of that, they simply can't get themselves into the band. Even though that has absolutely nothing to do with the music, although some will also claim that there's a lot to do with the music in there as well. That the tough guy exterior goes into the lyricism, goes into the overall chugga-chugga of their guitar work, and really, any sort of validity just goes out the window. Really far be it for me to actually criticize that, but there's a couple points in there. Number 2, Ivan Moody is a douche. This is something that has come up a lot more as of recent, the past couple of years. It seems that Ivan Moody perpetuating that whole bro metal idea that we just talked about has gotten him into a bit of hot water, not only with fans, but also with his band, and even got TMZ involved. Now, we can question the validity of the TMZ article all day, every day, and I definitely think that you should. Thanks, TMZ, for proving yourselves to be a bunch of unreliable idiots. This is something that is obviously a problem. This story would not have been propagated if it wasn't for the fact that Ivan had a little bit of problems with temper, and the fact that whenever microphones are shoved into his face or any sort of press gets involved, he tends to tell things like it is. Now, while this is an admirable feat to have, or an admirable, attribute to really have in your arsenal, it's something that also can rub some people the wrong way, and that can cause a lot of hurt feelings and a lot of triggers, as people call them these days. And based around that, Ivan Moody has been labeled as a douchebag for more than one reason. Now, aside from this also, there have been a lot of citations and claims that it translates over into his vocals and translates over into the way in which he sings, whether it be at live shows or even on the discs. Many people can't get into his voice based off of the way it sounds, that whole bro metal thing that we spoke about in number 3, and the fact that they have some bad taste in their mouth from him being a douche here in number 2. Whatever the reason might be, it just seems that Ivan Moody actually has been one of the biggest propagators of people that don't want to listen to Ivan Moody sing. I know, it's weird. Number 1, the albums keep getting worse and worse. Now does number 5 seem to make a little bit of sense, that they're the Nickelback of hard rock? Yeah, it's really starting to get to that point. Very first album of Five Finger Death Punches that I reviewed was American Capitalist, and this was from the era where people still really were hot on this band. Their first couple of albums had done very well, and we were going into American Capitalist with high expectations. I didn't feel that the album was all of that great, but still many people thought that it was fairly decent, and was a bit worse than the first 2, but was still halfway acceptable. Then The Wrong Side of Heaven, Right Side of Hell, Duology came out, and that definitely seemed to have some mixed opinions. And then Got Your Six came out, and everything just sort of went out the window. Things are definitely going down in a hurry. And that's simply been sort of the pie chart, or at least the line graph that many people would use. It sort of looks like a twisted roller coaster. Ever been on one of those roller coasters where you hit the crest and then you seem like you're going to crash right into the ground? That's kind of what Five Finger Death Punch's career is starting to look like. It seems as though just as time has gone on, something has happened to this group where they have taken out some of the core elements of their sound and have certainly moved towards some more simplistic approaches. Either that or simply trying to turn some of the same feats that brought them into the limelight twice and not getting the same results. One of the big critical cases that I can show you is that on The Wrong Side of Heaven, they were able to get a couple of notable guest entries to help them out, and then slightly underutilized them to the point where everybody's wondering, well, why did you even do that at all? They were relegated to second banana duties, at least on a song like The One You Love to Hate by Halford. Bruce Dickinson and Rob Halford are each singing verses, so it seems like it's 50-50. It's, a match made in heaven that actually feels like a match made in heaven. Even with that being said, the band just seems to be on a downward turn as far as writing is concerned as well. There's a lot of elements to their music that has remained extremely stagnant and has only seemed to have gotten worse as each passing album has released, and that has culminated in the terrible and abysmal Boots of Blood that was featured on Got Your Six. And that's our list. Alright, do you agree with this list or disagree with it? Let us know in the comments below. Is there anything that we missed? Once again, let us know in the comments below. My name is Cover Killer Nation. We are currently in the middle of 24 hours of Cover Killer Nation, a fun and fantastic event. If you like things like this, if you like to have fun, then you definitely want to hit that subscribe button and become part of the Cover Killer Nation. Once again, I am CKN, and I'll talk to you guys next time.